$50 in savings on select Cozy Heat fireplaces, up to $400 on select furnaces, and tankless water heaters starting at only $295. Visit gbenergy.com to learn more. G&B Energy, family owned and North Carolina grown.
Well. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday to you, and welcome to the Scoreboard. We are here in studio live. 844-STUDIO-4 is the phone number if you have something you want to talk about. We're going to be talking about the world of sports for the next hour. There is a lot going on, and I can't believe that I'm saying this, but at the beginning of the week, the NFL was overshadowed during Super Bowl week. As the NBA approached the trade deadline and has now passed the trade deadline, there was one insane trade. I mean, one where you look at it and you actually were shocked. I know a lot of times now you see a trade in the NFL or the NBA and you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. I mean, that person's been to 18 different teams now. But this one, Luka Doncic, I could not believe what I was seeing when that news came across my phone on Saturday. I think it was like 12:45 Eastern when that news broke. It was late on a Saturday, and I was in shock. We'll talk about that one a little bit later on in the show. Right now, what we are going to get into is the high school sports scene as men's basketball continues to move on. We have a few schools in the area that are definitely going to be competing come playoff time. We're getting closer and closer to the conference playoffs as well, which are going to start here in the next couple of weeks. We'll start things out the way we normally do with Statesville High School. As Statesville High School has a winning record still. They are 12-8 right now, coming off of back-to-back wins against Ford High School and West Iredell, 70-60 and 67-60. Pretty consistent on the defensive side of the ball, giving up 60 points in back-to-back games. Nonetheless, that moved Statesville to 8-3 within the Western 3A Western Foothills Conference. They're tied now with East Lincoln and Hickory High School. So we talked about this one a couple of weeks ago when these schools were playing each other. The top four were all playing each other, and they were all separated by a game or so. Now we're at almost the end of the year, 3 games remaining, and things are separated by a razor-thin margin. Now, one thing to keep in mind for Statesville High School, they do play Hickory High School again, who is also 8-3 in the conference. They do not play East or North Lincoln again. North Lincoln is the number 1 team at 9-2. But Statesville at 8-3, they are having a very good conference year. The overall record is what's got them pretty bad on the tiebreaker here at 12-8. Remember when they were playing those out-of-conference games, they actually started the year 1-3, and things were looking a little rough. And then at some point they were 2-5 before they went on a nice run, winning 3 in a row. Then you lose one, win 4 in a row, then you lose one. So it's a good turnaround once you get to the conference play here for Statesville High School. Their next game is going to be later on tonight as they'll be on the road at North Iredell High School. Tip-off at 7 p.m. One thing to keep in mind for Statesville, they do not have any more home games this year during the regular season. They'll be on the road today and both games next week against St. Stephen's and Hickory. They will also be on the road. Moving on to a team that I thought was going to be a little bit better than they are right now, that being West Iredell. They had a stretch there where they lost 7 games in a row. And I thought that once they went through that losing streak, the season was going to be washed and they were just going to keep falling. But the team kind of rallied nicely as they come off of that stretch where they lost all those games. The final loss that they had in that stretch was an overtime loss, which kind of turned the tide, as then they dominated Ford High School, dominated East Lincoln before barely losing to Statesville High School earlier in the week. Now, West Iredell is 4-7 within the conference, so it's not the best conference record, and an overall record of 11-10. If they win a couple of more games here, I expect to see them in the playoffs. It'll be interesting, though, because there's a lot of schools, not only in our area, but around the state, obviously, that are hovering right around that 500 mark. So we'll see what West Iredell has in store for the remainder of the year. They do have a tough game later on tonight as they take on Hickory High School. It'll be on the road before they come home for the final 2 games of the regular season. North Iredell also is going to be in action later on tonight. We just talked about them playing Statesville High School. Now, North Iredell is kind of on a rough stretch here. They did just recently have a 3-game win streak, but their overall record is 7-14 right now. It hasn't been the best year. The away split here, the home and away split for North Iredell this year is very telling. On the road, North Iredell is 1-9, but at home, they're 6-4. Having some problems during those road games for North Iredell, unfortunately. But they are in action today against Statesville High School. That is a home game for North Iredell. 7 p.m. is the tip-off. Now, another team that's kind of had a rough stretch here, it's South Iredell High School. The Vikings are 4-17 overall. They are currently on a rough 10-game losing streak. Most recently, they lost to Mooresville High School 64-36. Without a win yet in the conference as South Iredell, it's really just been a year to forget. Now, a few more games remaining on the schedule. The final home game of the year is going to be tonight for South Iredell. They play A.L. Brown, who has the exact same record at 4-17. So definitely a game that South Iredell can win and feel good about as we head to the end of the year, before they go on the road to face Lake Norman and Cox Mill High School for the final 2 games of the year. Now, Lake Norman, that's a team that I don't think anybody wants to play right now. They're on an 11-game winning streak. They have not lost a conference game all year, and their overall record is just a tremendous 20-1 with only 1 loss. Remember, we talked about that 1 loss. It was against Milton High School out of Milton, Georgia, during a tournament during the winter break. So it's not really a big loss on their schedule. It was a tournament loss. They've won all of their conference games. That is the biggest thing right now. Undefeated at home, undefeated on the road. That loss was at a neutral site, which they're still 3-1 in neutral site games this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Lake Norman take a run at the state championship. And last but not least is Mooresville High School. They are also on a small winning streak here after they lost to Lake Norman a couple of weeks ago. 3-game winning streak to boost their record to 18-3. 8-1 within the 4A Greater Metro Conference. There's nobody close to Lake Norman and Mooresville right now. 9-0 for Lake Norman, 8-1 for Mooresville. The next closest team is Cox Mill High School. So they are, they're not anywhere near as good as Lake Norman and Mooresville has been. Cox Mill is 5-4 within the conference this year. And their overall record, it's not that great. It's 10-10. For a 500 record. We're going to go to our first commercial break of the day here. When we return, we're going to move on from the high school scene and talk about what everybody's looking forward to on Sunday, the Super Bowl.
More of Sports Director Joe Berg's The Scoreboard is coming up on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, our weather still continues to go up and down over the next couple of days. Going to finish off the work week on a pretty nice note today. Sunshine is back. We'll climb into the low 70s for the afternoon. Dropping back into the upper 40s overnight. Clouds start to increase. Our Saturday is cloudier and cooler, but mostly dry. High temperatures only low to mid 60s. We'll bring the sunshine and 70s back for Sunday. Then get ready for cold rain to settle in much of next week. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like ISI Denver.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Bin 110 in Cornelius presents 3 consecutive nights of live music. On Thursday, February 6th, Anna Mertson performs. On Friday night, finalists from season 19 of The Voice, John Sullivan takes the stage, while Classically Rockin' offers up a big show on Saturday. Enjoy live music performances at Bin 110 in Cornelius this weekend. Calling all superheroes, wizards, and fandom fanatics, the Statesville Comic-Con is this Saturday at the Statesville Civic Center. The show runs from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tickets are only $5 for adults, $2 for those 12 years old and younger, and free admission for age 3 and younger. Make plans to bring your cosplay A-game, snag some epic merch, and enjoy all things comics, games, and pop culture. Whether you're a Marvel maniac, a Jedi master, or just love the vibe, the Statesville Civic Center is the place to be this Saturday for the Statesville Comic-Con. Sunday is National Pizza Day, and Ghostface Brewing in Mooresville is ready for you. From 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., the kitchen and bar are open for dine-in or take-out. Come and enjoy some good food and beverages or grab a to-go order in case anyone may be stopping by or you are visiting someone else. Come celebrate National Pizza Day Sunday with Ghostface Brewing. Get a behind-the-scenes look at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Dirt Track, and ZMAX Dragway. Learn the illustrious history of each track while taking in the sights and sounds of America's home for racing. Check out the special Race Week tours that can take you behind the scenes of some of the most famous race teams ever, or show you what the Speedway looks like when it gets ready to host a NASCAR weekend. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for more details and information on daily tours and experiences. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Have your say.
Trusting the government to fix anything is a joke.
Be a part of the conversation.
We can't even trust the banks with our money.
This is WSIC News Talk Now.
No radio? No worries.
Just ask Alexa to play WSIC.
It's the Scoreboard with your host, Sports Director Joe Berg on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. You're listening to the Scoreboard here on this Friday, 844 Studio 4. That's 844-788-3464. If you have something on your mind that you want to talk about, I'm sure that there's things on your mind going into this weekend. Whether it's, oh boy, I got to watch the Chiefs play, or oh boy, I got to watch the Eagles play, or oh man, the NFL season's already over. Yeah, the Super Bowl, as much as we're dreading a Chiefs-Eagles game, it indicates the end of the football season. It is sad. I'm going to be watching. I know there's so many people out there who are trying to boycott the Super Bowl. Look, I'm not going to be surprised if it's the most watched Super Bowl ever. That's the trend that we've had over the past few years. So the Chiefs and the Eagles, a rematch of the Super Bowl a few years ago, Super Bowl 57. This game is going to be nothing like the first Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl. Now, I'll give you my prediction. I think it's going to be 24-17, the final score, and I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I'm going to say the Chiefs are going to win it just because, like, how do you bet against the Chiefs at this point? You have Patrick Mahomes, who arguably now top 3 quarterback in NFL history. You also have a defense that has been on fire this year for the Chiefs. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking that this Super Bowl is going to end up being a high-scoring game, and I caution people to think that. The Chiefs have scored 30 points one time this season. One time. All year have they scored 30 points, and that was in the AFC Championship game against the Bills. Let's go through their regular season and just talk about the scores that they've allowed real quick. They started giving up 20, 25, 17, 10, 13, 18, 20, 24. They haven't given up 30 points all year. This Chiefs defense, as little as we talk about their defense when you talk about Kansas City, because everybody wants to jump to the shiny object of Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, it's the defense that has been carrying this team. Patrick Mahomes had a down year. His quarterback rating was in the gutter. He wasn't even really considered for an MVP award this year. It's the defense that really carried this team. And you could say the same thing for the Eagles, that their defense is what gets them here. Now, the Eagles and the Chiefs defense are a little bit different. Yes, we've seen the Eagles give up. We've seen the Eagles give up more points, but it's still a very good defense with a few rookies out there that, man, I mean, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, those were incredible pickups in the draft for the Eagles, who have made big differences to start. I got the Chiefs winning. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I also have to say that as a Giants fan. I can't root for the Eagles. I just can't do it. We got a couple of callers into the studio, apparently, so let's go ahead and bring them on air right now. Let's go ahead and do it. Good morning, caller. You are on the scoreboard. What do you have for me today? Caller, you there? Uh-oh. Caller. Hello, caller. Are you there? I guess we're having problems with the callers there. Is it unmuted over there? Is the phone lines, everything? Oh, I guess they didn't want to talk to me. That's okay. Call back if you want. Or if you don't want, it's okay. Anyway, talking about the Super Bowl here, Jalen Hurts has been a point of conversation for the Eagles for a while. And a lot of it has to do with where he went to college. You know, he started at Alabama. We all saw that. Didn't work out there. You go to Oklahoma. But you still have I don't want to call it a stench, but it's more like you have the stench of an Alabama quarterback, which we've seen is not something you want to be in the NFL. Has Tua won? No. I mean, we could go. I'm not going to go through the list of Alabama quarterbacks right now. We all know what happened with Mac Jones, right? Anyway, the storylines that you're going to want to keep an eye on are very simple. Number one, for the Chiefs, can they three-peat? Can they do something that no team has ever done in NFL history? And if they do, great, we're here to see it. It was, 6 years ago? The Chiefs were the darling of the NFL. They were the ones that we wanted to beat, the big bad Patriots. Now they win. And they win. And they win. And it seems like people don't like that anymore. And they're using all these excuses of, the referees. Let me just say right now, the referees did not cause the Bills to lose in the AFC Championship. We talked about it 2 weeks ago. How about you call something other than a QB sneak? Huh? Might be a good idea considering it never worked. So for the Chiefs, can they three-peat? And if they do three-peat, where does that place Patrick Mahomes on the all-time quarterback list? Is he now knocking on the door of Brady? Because Brady never did a three-peat. We saw him win back-to-back, but never a three-peat. Mahomes always in the AFC Championship game, but never a three-peat. But he has a chance. For the Eagles, it's a little bit different. It's, can you get over the hump? Can you finally put it together? Because this team has been Super Bowl ready for a while now. And Jalen Hurts just hasn't really been able to carry the team. Now, I know when he played the Chiefs in the first Super Bowl, I understand Jalen Hurts went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes. And all credit to him. He played wonderfully in that Super Bowl. But as you look at the general landscape of his career, he leaves a little bit to be desired. And that could all go away if he ends up winning a Super Bowl. Now, you also have the fact that Saquon Barkley has made a big difference on this team. I don't know if we're going to see a Philadelphia Super Bowl where Jalen Hurts gets praised, or more of, Jalen Hurts, you finally got the help you need, with Saquon Barkley being a 2,000-yard rusher, And obviously, they got great receivers over there. The offensive line, we know how that is. And we know how people feel about the tush push. They want it banned. Which, I mean, learn how to stop it. Low man wins. I get it. The offense has a little bit of an advantage. And one thing about, and I'm just going to get on my soapbox here real quick. They need to actually officiate that play instead of just allowing the teams to line up off sides. I see the offense line up off sides. I see the defense line up off sides. We saw what the Commanders were trying to do, jumping over the line. That didn't work. The referee said, hey, we're just going to give them the points if you keep doing this, which is in the rule book, by the way. It's not one of those made-up things that they did in the moment like a lot of people seem to think. It's a real rule. Like, learn how to stop it. But for the Eagles, if Jalen Hurts puts on a good show, if he's able to throw for, let's say, 300 yards and a couple of touchdowns, he could win the MVP. He could silence all the haters, and Philadelphia gets a championship again. For Saquon, though, you got to look at this and say, okay, the Chiefs have been a bad run defense, especially when they're playing a team that has a quarterback who can run. They are, I think, averaging over 130 yards allowed when the quarterback has more than 500 yards in a season. I might not have that stat right. I don't have it on the top of my head here. I don't have it on my list, but I did see it yesterday where the Chiefs are one of the worst run defenses in the league when the quarterback can run. So does that mean Saquon has a legendary game and it's not Jalen Hurts, it's actually Saquon? It could be. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Saquon run for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. I would be surprised if we see Jalen Hurts perform to an elite level this year or in this Super Bowl versus what he did last Super Bowl because of that Chiefs defense, the pass defense. It's been the best in the NFL. But we get to see what happens on Sunday. Now, I know everybody's got Chiefs fatigue. I understand. You don't want to see the Chiefs win anymore. You're getting tired of it. Look, you have greatness staring you in the face here. This is a different level of greatness than what Tom Brady did. Tom Brady did something very special. We are never going to see it again. He had 3 separate Hall of Fame careers within one career. He had the first part of his career where he won a few Super Bowls. Then he had that 10-year drought where he didn't win any Super Bowls. That's a Hall of Fame career in itself, even without any Super Bowls. And then obviously his end of career Super Bowls, including the one with Tampa Bay. What we're seeing here with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, we've only seen it one other time with the Patriots. The Chiefs have made 7 consecutive AFC title games. The only team that has made more consecutive title games are those Patriots, and it's only one more that they made. It was 9 straight. So, stop being upset. Stop being salty that the Chiefs are dominating the NFL, because just think back to 6 years ago when the Chiefs were everybody's favorite. The Chiefs were the team that you wanted to see go up and beat those Patriots. Enjoy it while it's here. It's not going to last long. It'll be over before we know it, and then we'll just have a memory of the greatness of Patrick Mahomes. He is going to be one of the greatest of all times. He might already be knocking on the door of the greatest of all time. I got the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. Kickoff Sunday at 6:30. Watch it on Fox. We're going to go to a halfway point here. We'll be back after this.
This guy knows his sports, right? There's more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg on the way on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, our weather still continues to go up and down over the next couple of days. Going to finish off the work week on a pretty nice note today. Sunshine is back. We'll climb into the low 70s.
Hey, are you there? Can you hear me? Huh. No, not yet. Hey, are you there, caller? You there, caller? Hello, hello? Hello, caller?
Chase Myers.
Hi, This is Bob McIntosh with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Since 1997, we have been committed to providing our clients with competent, caring, and experienced legal services. Learn more at McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Hello, everyone. This is Joshua Doby, president of North Main Financial Group. At North Main Financial Group, we move to where you need us: investment management, insurance planning, and estate strategies. No two people are the same, so we customize our planning based upon your needs. Reach out to us at northmainfinancial.com. That's northmainfinancial.com.
How about savings off a brand new car? Randy Marion Ford Lincoln in Statesville. We've got our service loaners with just a few thousand miles on them. Save thousands of dollars on all makes and models. That's F-150, Expedition, Explorers, Lincolns, Corsair, Navigator. I tell you, these cars are like brand new. Never been titled. You're the first owner. Save thousands. Randy Marion Ford Lincoln, I-77, right here in Statesville. You know where we are, folks. Right where the spinning car is. That's where the deals are. Randy Marion Ford Lincoln. Come see us today.
Join your friends from Oswald Baptist Church in Troutman. Sunday mornings at 8:30 on WSIC. Be informed and inspired with teachings from the Word of God by Pastor Wesley Morris. Sunday mornings at 8:30 on WSIC.
Hey, listen to me. I'm one of the credit cards in your wallet. I'm about to explode and pop like a balloon. You're using me and my brothers way too much. Your credit cards aren't the only ones annoyed. It's your paycheck that doesn't have enough to pay everything. Save your credit cards, your paycheck, and yourself a lot of PAIN. Pain. Call the debt helpline now, not tomorrow, right now. Our experts will show you how you can cut your interest rates and your payments on your credit cards in half. Credit card companies have special assistance programs designed to help you. Make this 100% free call right now and learn how you could get out of credit card debt. Here's the number.
800-406-6569. 800-406-6569. 800-406-6569. That's 800-406-6569. Paid for by Zero Debt.
Here's a real-life story that affects 50% of all of us out there. It's called divorce. If you've gotten divorced and now you're struggling to pay your bills and your credit card debts are completely out of control, you need to call this special debt relief hotline right now. We help people with all kinds of money problems caused by different life challenges, a divorce, a job loss, even heavy medical bills. All these life events can sometimes financially stress you out and cause you to get out of control. We help people get their lives back by showing them ways to consolidate and reduce their debt, in some cases for a fraction of what they owe. If your credit card balances are more than $10,000, call us and learn how to reduce your credit card bills and monthly payments now. Here's our number.
Paid for by Debt.com. Call now at 800-810-2191. 800-810-2191. 800-810-2191. That's 800-810-2191.
Home of the best talk.
WSIC. Local starts here.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. No acceleration for Porsche today after the iconic sports car maker learns the hard way that the public appetite for an electric Porsche is not what everyone thought that long ago. It's falling further off track from lofty targets set during its splashy stock listing just 2 years ago, with costs mounting from executives having misjudged how eager sports car buyers were to go electric. Its profit margin will slump to as low as 10% this year. That is half the expected profit margin. Stock in Porsche right now falling 8%. On Wall Street, stock indexes are down. Dow and S&P 500 each losing 0.25%. NASDAQ down more than 0.5%. It follows today's employment report showing fewer jobs added to payrolls in January, but which included November and December revisions that more than offset the miss, helping nudge stocks modestly higher at the open. Then a half an hour after the bell, we got the latest consumer sentiment reading showing an unexpected plunge on higher inflation expectations. Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Radio.
Number one for talk in Lake Norman, Statesville.
105.9, 100.7, WSIC. Talk sports with Joe Berg. Call 844-STUDIO-4. It's the Scoreboard on 105.9, 100.7, WSIC.
Oh my goodness. Producer Bill with the dance moves. Woo, boy. How about it? Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to the Scoreboard. Happy Friday to you. Friday before the Super Bowl. I was told that we have some callers in the studio. I don't know if my producer can hear me right now or not. Bill, can you hear me? Somebody hear me? Let's go ahead and bring one of our callers into the studio here. All right. Hello, caller. Welcome to the Scoreboard. Caller, are you there? Hello? Anybody there? No? Okay. Oh, there we go. We got a call. Welcome to the Scoreboard, caller. How are you?
Hello there, Mr. Joe Berg. How you doing, Doc?
I'm good. How about you?
Listen, you know what you were saying a while ago now. The Chiefs, you know what I'm saying? Everybody wants them to lose, okay? And then when the Panthers was losing, everybody wanted them to win. So you know what I'm saying? When it comes down to sport, like I was telling the producer a while ago, you know, somebody's got to win and somebody got to lose. Ain't nobody going to win all the time. Ain't nobody going to lose all the time.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes the game competitive. That's what makes sports, you know, what it is. People's perspective is all messed up. But that's okay then, though. The Chiefs, you know what I'm saying? I would love to see now, let me say this to you also, Mr. Berg. Now, you know the Philadelphia Eagles is Super Bowl material as well.
Oh, yeah.
So they could absolutely take it, too. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I can't disagree with that.
Huh?
I said I can't disagree with that. I really think that the Eagles do have a chance. I have a hard time going against Patrick Mahomes now.
Oh, okay then. Well, I don't keep up with sports like I used, you know what I'm saying, like that. But you know what I'm saying. But what I'm saying, the Eagles' full possibility go in there and just beat them and knock the Chiefs out of their history.
Yeah.
So it's a possibility. All right there, Mr. Joe Berg.
Well,
take it easy. I'm going to get to you like.
Hey, great to hear from you today. Always good to hear from you. I hope you have a good weekend and enjoy the Super Bowl.
Okay, sir.
Let's go ahead. We got another caller here in the studio on the Scoreboard. Let's bring him on the air. Oh, they didn't want to talk to me. One more. We got another. All right, caller. Welcome to the Scoreboard.
Joe Berg.
Hey, how are you?
Good. It's the Tar Heel man.
Yes, it is. How you been?
Good, buddy. Finally moving up in the world, huh? Got you at an early time spot now.
Seems that way. It seems that way.
You're right up there with Stephen A. Smith and the Crews.
Oh man, I don't know if I guess it is good to be compared to Stephen A. But I don't have the takes like Stephen A. That's not me.
Hey, well, the Tar Heel man's going to make a prediction here on the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Get out of my little realm here, but I'm going to go with the Eagles. I'm going to say it's going to be a tight game. They got one of the best defenses, right? Is the top one or two defense. And so I think they're going to pull some stuff here and really try to feed Mr. Barkley the ball, slow the game down. And, I mean, nobody can stop that guy once he gets rolling. So I'm going to say they're going to pull the upset. It's going to be a close one, but Sam's going to come down. Let's say it's the fourth quarter and Chiefs are up and the Eagles get the ball at the end and push it across the line for the winning touchdown to win by, I'll say, about 3 points.
You know, I saw somebody say that there's going to be a push for the win. And there's going to be a flag called on it or something, and the Chiefs are going to benefit from it, and the NFL is going to be upset because the Chiefs didn't win, so they're going to outlaw the tush push. I think that would be hilarious.
And Jason Kelsey will have wished he did not retire.
Oh, absolutely, man.
On his brother.
Imagine being him, seeing the team that you just played for. You couldn't tough it out for one more year and possibly go win another Super Bowl. That would eat me alive, honestly. It would.
I know. Yeah, definitely. But, yeah, I'm going to go with the Eagles, even though I grew up hating them because I was always a Redskins fan as a kid. And so I loved it when the Redskins would beat them. But I'm going to go with the Eagles on this one. I think it's just about time for an upset. Everybody's picking the Chiefs. I think the Eagles got a really good team. I mean, Mahomes, no doubt, is a terrific quarterback, but I'm going to go with the upset here, Mr. Barkley.
Yeah, me and you both grew up disliking the Eagles, that's for sure. That I always say, actually, the Eagles are the one and only team that ever made me cry.
Is that right? What
Yeah.
year was that?
Man, it was a long time ago. I just remember the Eagles beat the Giants in the playoffs, and I was really upset.
Yeah. I like the Giants too. They had Mr. LT, former Tar Heel, team back in the '80s. So when they weren't playing the Redskins, I'd pull for him. He was obviously a dominating player of his time period in the '80s. So, but yeah, good times, good memories.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, let's go with the Eagles on that one.
All right, there it is. You're gonna go with the Eagles. Well, hey, thanks for calling in. It's great to hear from you again, and we'll hope to hear from you again next week.
Okay, buddy. All right. Have a good weekend, Joe.
You as well. All right. We got one for the Eagles there. All right. One more for the Eagles. Well, you said, I'm sorry, I think we have one more caller into the studio. Let's go ahead and bring him on air. Caller, welcome to the Scoreboard. What can I do for you today? What you got?
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, good. I'm trying to get through here. Hey, I enjoy your show. You know, I'm calling you because I know one time I'm not going to be able to get through to you because you're going to be big time. So you keep on doing what you're doing. I'm not kidding. I've been listening to radio for quite a while because I'm up there in my age, and you're just one of the best that I've ever heard. And I want everybody to know how lucky they are they got you in North Carolina, Joe.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. That's so nice of you to say.
And now I'm going to talk about, I always love to talk sports. It's been my whole life, and I want to start off. Everybody loves Tony Romo. That's number one. I can't stand most of them because since John Madden, it's been hard to replace a guy like that.
Yeah.
Because of my old school, he was fantastic. And why I'm complaining is in the past game with Buffalo, with Kansas City, never mind the quarterback sneaks that they couldn't get the first down on. The play before the quarterback sneak. Yep. When the halfback ran, he got a first down on that play, and Tony Romo didn't say a word. The guy's upstairs. I don't know who's watching upstairs that they could go to instant get it right. No one said a word about it, but obviously I don't know if you remember the play right before he tried to get the first down on the quarterback sneak. They had a first down, and no one said a word about it.
Yeah, it was really interesting when I was watching it because I didn't think much about it at the time. You see it a lot where the spot is not what we think it's supposed to be. I think the reason that one isn't getting any scrutiny is because of the play that followed it, because of all the controversy surrounding the play call for a QB sneak, the decision to spot him short, the review where he looked like he made it and they still decided to spot him short. It just kind of got overshadowed with everything that took place after that. But I thought he got a first down on that play. And, even the coaches, they probably called that QB sneak thinking we don't need to worry about the play before because we're going to call this QB sneak and we're going to get the first down. Lo and behold, that doesn't happen. They probably should have taken a closer look at the third down play.
That's for sure. And he should have jumped over like he tried to do the time before. That's another guy. And I just want to ask a couple of things now. One of the reasons the referee on the call, like if they throw a pass on the sidelines to any of the receivers, and the guy catches the ball and he's going out of bounds, you see the referee winding his hand to keep the clock going.
Hey, caller, real quick, I hate to cut you off. Can you hold tight? We're about to go to our last commercial break. I want to keep talking to you, but we got to go to commercial. Can you hang tight?
I have nothing but time, kid.
All right, we'll be back.
More of Sports Director Joe Berg's The Scoreboard is coming up on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, our weather still continues to go up and down over the next couple of days. Going to finish off the work week on a pretty nice note today. Sunshine is back. We'll climb into the low 70s for the afternoon. Dropping back into the upper 40s overnight. Clouds start to increase. Our Saturday is cloudier and cooler, but mostly dry. High temperatures only low to mid 60s. We'll bring the sunshine and 70s back for Sunday. Then get ready for cold rain to settle in much of next week. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Bin 110 in Cornelius presents 3 consecutive nights of live music. On Thursday, February 6th, Anna Mertson performs. On Friday night, finalists from season 19 of The Voice, John Sullivan takes the stage, while Classically Rockin' offers up a big show on Saturday. Enjoy live music performances at Bin 110 in Cornelius this weekend. Calling all superheroes, wizards, and fandom fanatics, the Statesville Comic-Con is this Saturday at the Statesville Civic Center. The show runs from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tickets are only $5 for adults, $2 for those 12 years old and younger, and free admission for age 3 and younger. Make plans to bring your cosplay A-game, snag some epic merch, and enjoy all things comics, games, and pop culture. Whether you're a Marvel maniac, a Jedi master, or just love the vibe, the Statesville Civic Center is the place to be this Saturday for the Statesville Comic-Con. Sunday is National Pizza Day, and Ghostface Brewing in Mooresville is ready for you. From 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., the kitchen and bar are open for dine-in or take-out. Come and enjoy some good food and beverages or grab a to-go order in case anyone may be stopping by or you are visiting someone else. Come celebrate National Pizza Day Sunday with Ghostface Brewing. Get a behind-the-scenes look at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Dirt Track, and ZMAX Dragway. Learn the illustrious history of each track while taking in the sights and sounds of America's home for racing. Check out the special Race Week tours that can take you behind the scenes of some of the most famous race teams ever, or show you what the Speedway looks like when it gets ready to host a NASCAR weekend. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for more details and information on daily tours and experiences. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Craving a taste of Italy? At Palmadoro's, we serve up scratch-made comfort with every bite. From our hand-tossed pizzas to classic pasta dishes, it's the perfect place to gather your family or just treat yourself. Visit palmadoros.com for menus and hours. Your table's waiting.
Thought-provoking conversations and informed perspectives.
It's meant for everyday people to understand, and you don't have to stress about technical terms and stuff. They just say it like a real person.
WSIC News Talk Now.
The Scoreboard with Joe Berg continues now on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here on the Scoreboard. Got a lot of callers today. 844-STUDIO-4. That's 844-788-3464 if you have something on your mind that you'd like to talk about with me. We do have a caller who joined us last segment, held on, wants to keep talking with me. Welcome back to the air, caller. What do you got for me? We were talking about the referees and the spots.
Joe, if a receiver or a guy is running out of bounds, the referee winds his hand for a clock guy upstairs to let them know to keep the clock going. You know how they do that? The referees, you see it all the time with the hands going off, right?
Right.
Okay. Here's the point that I want to make. That signal is not needed. And what they should be concentrating on is the spot of the ball. Don't worry about telling the clock management guy, the referee up there, to stop the clock, because he only stops the clock when you tell him to stop the clock. So if you don't tell him to stop the clock, he knows to let the clock keep going. So when the referee keeps on winding his hand to tell him to keep going, it's an invalid signal. It doesn't mean anything. He should be worried about the spot. That's one of the reasons that the referees are missing a lot of their spots, because they got too many things on their mind, and that's one of the things that they don't need to do.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm trying to talk to a great guy like you that knows his sports, because I love listening to you, because you always tell us what's right and what's wrong. And how about with this one? When the ball goes to the ground, when you catch the ball, if you don't move the ball, they make it a catch in that play. in the Kansas City game with the great catch that the guy made. Now, I'm not saying he moved the ball, he didn't move the ball, but what I'm saying is these rules they make the game impossible. If the ball hits the ground, they should just make it that it's an incomplete pass, because if you take it gets to be crazy what's a catch and what's not a catch. So if on that play, okay, he didn't move the ball, so in the rules it's a catch. But I'm saying if it hits the ground, it's not a catch, and it's easy enough, and you won't spend 10 minutes trying to figure out what it was or it wasn't. And how about if you got the ball on the half-yard line and you got to go 99 and a half yards? It's 1st and 10. You got to go 99 and a half yards. And the right guard moves, and they call illegal procedure. They move the ball back 6 inches.
Yeah.
Or 12 inches. They move the ball back very minimum. Why don't they just make it 1st and 15? Like if the right tackle moves and they stop the play, and they don't have enough yards to give them 5 yards because you only have a half a yard behind you. So half the distance is only like 6 inches. Isn't that pretty stupid? Why don't they just make it 1st and 15 and punish the guy if they had that infraction?
I love that idea. I don't understand how you can call a 5-yard penalty or half the distance to the goal, and there is no penalty. You're already on the goal line. Now, we saw it kind of in the other way where the Eagles were on the goal line trying to score, and the defense in Washington kept jumping off sides. They were trying to stop the tush push, and they weren't moving the ball forward at all. They were already on the goal line. There was no way for them to move it forward anymore. There's got to be a way to make these penalties matter, even on the goal line, no matter what goal line.
On that play that you're talking about, what they should do is turn around, and when you get the ball now, the team that's jumping over the center, which they shouldn't be allowed to do anyway because they're so worried about injuries, and that's crazy to let guys jump over. They stopped that with the extra points that guys were doing. Seattle was doing it years ago. But if they do it in a situation like that, when they kick off the ball to that team, they should punish the team almost 10 yards, make it 1st and 20 for them when they get the ball, because at least you punish them for something as egregious of what they were doing. I understand. And I got another one. When these guys were running with the ball, this one I don't know about, but that's why I'm calling you Joe, because you're the man, and you're really great to talk to. You know what's going on. And I want to ask you maybe if I might be right with this. If nowadays, which I don't like anymore, because years ago you couldn't do it, and I think you could do it now. The runner's running with the ball, and he's looking to get a first down. So he's getting tackled like on the 15-yard line, and he's got to get to the 20-yard line. So the offensive linemen start pushing him forward so he can get more yards as he's getting tackled. Now, here's my problem. If I'm tackling a runner with the ball and an offensive guy comes and hits me in the back, same time he's trying to push the the runner with the ball, isn't that like clipping? That you can't hit a guy in the back. I never saw them make a call like that. If you're trying to aid the runner, years ago you couldn't aid the runner.
Right.
I'm asking you a question. If you see, the play I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Isn't that really clipping?
You know,
with the guy in the back.
I haven't thought about it like that before. I'd have to pay closer attention to it. The one thing that I pay attention to when you see an offensive lineman going to help a runner is the offensive lineman actually grabbing and picking up the runner, or is he trying to throw him forward? We saw that in the national championship game, or maybe it was one of the semifinal games, where an offensive lineman actually threw the runner into the end zone. That I know is illegal, but just running up to the guy and hitting them, I don't think that's a penalty, depending on where you hit them, obviously. But that's one that I'm going to have to keep an eye on.
I'm talking about once in a while they're hitting and another thing, they got to stop this punching the ball out. I think the other guy got punched in the stomach and he lost control of the ball. And, you can't punch a guy. I mean, how do they let these guys do that? I got to ask you another one. If you think about all your smart North Carolina listeners out there, maybe they could give me the answer when I get off this phone. It's first and goal, and you got the ball. So you know there's a big pile up. You hand the ball off to the halfback, and he's fighting to get the ball into the end zone. Because there's a big pile up. I mean, a big pile up because they're trying to stop him from getting the end zone, and he's fighting to get into the end zone. So he gets into this big pile up, and nobody knows is he in the end zone or he's not in the end zone because there's a big pile up. You see the two referees, one the line judge, and the other one, I think they call him the field judge. They come together. They go into the middle of the pile up. The guy's got the ball on the ground. He's past the end zone, and the referee picks his hands up. How many times have you seen that?
I didn't hear that last part. What was that last part?
The runner's going into the end zone, first and goal, and there's a big pile up. 10 guys,
right.
5 guys are on top of him, and nobody knows if he scored or he didn't score, if he didn't break the plane. So the two referees are coming in to get the ball, from the ball carrier. They come charging in, the two referees. Then when they come charging in, they signal a touchdown. They go, oh, he's got the ball.
Uh-huh.
They're afraid to call a touchdown. They're afraid to call a touchdown because if he doesn't have the ball, it's embarrassing, because it was a pile-up. So as long as the running back has the ball, the one referee looks at the other referee, and they put their hands up like 10 seconds after the play, if you understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
My problem is this. Here's my problem, Joe, and you're a smart guy, Joe. If the referee saw him break the plane, he should have put his hands up as soon as he saw it. So he, you know what I'm saying? I don't even. They didn't see it, but they come in and because they're not sure. They see the guys in the end zone possessing the ball, and then they put their hands up 10 seconds after the play.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be the mechanics. If they see the guy break the plane, it doesn't make a difference if he possesses. As long as he has the ball in his possession when he breaks the plane, it doesn't even make a difference if he fumbled the ball after the fact. Because once you break the plane, it's over.
Right. Well, hey, caller, I really appreciate all the talk that you've brought to us today. I am going to have to let you go as we're coming up on the end of the program here. But, hey, it was great to hear from you today. And I'm going to keep some of those things in mind when I'm watching the Super Bowl with the pushing the runner and things like that.
And before you go, don't you remember I told you about getting the ball out of the end zone? It happened. You
Right.
got to get the whole ball,
Right.
the whole ball out instead of half the ball, which is ridiculous for stupid rules. Okay, Joe?
All right. Great to hear from you today.
Hey, I'll be calling. You be good, buddy boy.
Great to hear from you. You have a good one.
With your career, kid.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. He made some great points. One of them, we've been talking about it for years. What is a catch? Does anybody even know what a catch in the NFL is anymore? I mean, this goes all the way back to Des Bryant in the playoffs. Like, what is and what isn't a catch? The ball hits the ground. The ball doesn't hit. Does the ball move? Does he have 2 feet, 2%? I don't know. We got to find a way to simplify this. Somehow, some way. We got to simplify the catch. Other than that, enjoy the Super Bowl on Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a good one. Thanks for tuning in today to the Scoreboard. I appreciate each and every one of you. See ya.